It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the pledge of allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Good evening and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. I'm Steve McMillan along with Billy here tonight. Billy, glad you're back.
Glad to be back. This is going to be exciting.
Definitely going to be exciting. 26 cars have signed into the pit area tonight with the Bluegrass Cup Series. And you know, Billy, we got some points. Let's go over those points real quick before we go into qualifying.
All right. What do you got right now? You got John Schwartz up in the top, right? 293. Are we on the right program here?
Yes, we are.
Good. That's always nice. He's got a win, and he's got no pulls, but he's got 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s, so that's always nice. And then you have Brandon Holder. He's in the second spot with 279, and he's got a win, and he's got 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s. Then you got John Silvers in that third spot with 275. He's 4 points behind Holder, and he just has 2 pulls. He's got 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s. And then you got Raphael Huby, and he's got 249, and he's got 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s. And then you got Caulfield, Jonathan Caulfield. He's got 1 win, and he's got, I think, 1 pull and possibly 1 top 5 and 1 top 10. So those are your top 5, and he's 244. So he's only about 5 points back behind Hubby.
Definitely. You look at him right now on the board. Caulfield won the season opener with the Cup Series, and so he's had a good start. I mean, he's locked in long he stays, in for the playoffs, you know, the rules and stuff like that. He's in the chase. So, I mean, he's sitting in a good spot right now.
Yeah, he's doing really good right now. You got this. This is going to be a race that's it's going to be challenging. There's going to be some ups and downs with everybody. I think, you know, maybe you're going to get the top 3, top 4, top 5, 6 guys. They're gonna be out in front, and they're not gonna have a whole lot of problems. But you start getting 4, 5, 6 rows mid pack in the back, it's gonna get interesting. This track's a very challenging race course. There's not a lot of traction out there. You know, you gotta. I think the 5 things that you have to do for race strategy for this race is, you know, one, most important even over racing, is you gotta qualify in the top. You gotta be near the top 3, 4 rows. You gotta stay smooth on throttle exit. That's so important with the horsepower that these things are putting out. You gotta hit your braking marks as much as possible. Stay very consistent. And you just can't overdrive the car. And you got to keep your eyes ahead, because these cars are so big, the track's so narrow. When you get behind somebody, you really can't see the track. So there's a lot of strategy. And then pit lane comes into play when you're coming in and out of pits. When you come in for fuel, that's going to be a major factor, believe it or not, because it's going to take so much time, because you can't see the cars come off the front straightaway into that corner, because you're coming out of pits right into traffic.
Definitely, you know, the drivers that really shown some speed here has been the drivers from, you know, Brazil. You talk about Rafael Hubi, and I might slaughter this last name, Alex Montanelli.
Right? Montanelli? That's what I would say.
He was quick in practice, but he's going to almost loop it right there. He saves it into number 19. But right now, look at David Farmer. David Farmer has 1 win on the season from Bowling Green, Kentucky, in the 84, so he's locked into the chase. But how about this right now? GT Hawkins, last season's champion, first time lap is a 1 minute 31 second lap time.
Yeah, they're getting around here pretty good. I mean, don't get it. This is what, 900 horsepower cars on a track that's never been run on the circuit. So even though the Infinities ran here, the trucks ran here, there's not a lot of traction on the track. You got to be extremely. What's more important is exit. Exit is really important because of the traction laid down. You got to stay in the groove. You cannot get out of the groove. And if you get excited and you get on the throttle too hard, you're going to spin those good years right off. Plus, you could have the possibility of spinning it out and going deep.
That's right. And you know what? Peyton Hubbard from Boxville, North Carolina. He used to run the Truck Series last season. Here with us tonight, I believe making his first appearance in the Cup Series this season. Peyton Hubbard in that 51 machine, the Mobile 1 Toyota.
Yeah, he's a fast cat. He actually ran the trucks with us on Monday night. Did extremely well. I'm not really sure the results. Top 3, maybe top 3. Maybe he might have won it. I didn't see the finish, but I got to thank Peyton for he put up an hour session, and I haven't had time to practice, so I was able to at least practice an hour before the race, and that helped me out a lot. I wish I had practiced more, but I got to thank him for putting up a session for us to get on and practice.
Well, look at that. Cofield goes quick time with a 1 minute 28 second lap time from Munford, Alabama. And look at Mike Kozak goes back to the top, and then goes Peyton Hubbard.
Yeah, Hubbard's quick. He's smooth.
David Farmer moves up to that 3rd position. Now about this young cat from Owensboro, Lucas Lyons. You know, he drove the car last season and had the short bus on him, so that's how I remember Lucas Lyons, the short bus driver.
Yeah, Lucas is fast. He hasn't won a race this year. He's only raced 5 races, but at least he's got a top 5 and a top and 2 top 10. So, you know, he's maybe back in the points about 23rd, or 22nd, but he's running extremely well. He's ran every time I've seen him run well. So, you know, don't up and he gets it loose. There's a little bit what we were talking about earlier about getting on the throttle and getting a little bit happy. You got to get these cars perfectly straight before you give it any power or power down, because they don't like it. These Goodyears are not sticking as good as we want on the surface, but you know, it's all about forward bite and getting that car straight.
Definitely. Rafael Hubi goes to 4th quick in that 21 machine. Right now, we're watching Barrett Morton from Louisville, Kentucky, on the racing surface in that car number 6 there. You know, Barrett Morton ran the Truck Series full-time last season. I believe he had a win, I believe. I mean, trying to remember. You know, the memory bank gets, when you get older, my memory bank gets a little slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, when I was younger, we didn't have race cars. We were racing dinosaurs and stuff, so it's a little bit different. Our times were a lot slower than these.
That's right. You had time to process and remember back then. These days, you just got to go off the fly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this race is it's gonna really nutrition. It's gonna, you can't stick your nose. Oh, look at that! Look at Morton. Just got a little bit loose coming around the wheel well or sweeper, whatever you like to call it. If you really look at the track layout and look at that sweeper area, look at it. It looks like actually a fender wheel of a truck or something. It's square with a big old carousel over it to where the tire goes. But this track is if you put your nose where it don't belong or you put your nose where it doesn't stick right, it's going to get ugly for a lot of people because the horsepower to ratio to track is just phenomenally so odd and even. It's on one different spectrum than the other.
Definitely. Now on the screen in car number 34, the High Side Hustler Motorsports car number 34 is Jason Bridges out of Houston, Texas. Jason Bridges, make sure to visit him on Twitter. He loves to tweet. Not Twitter. What's it called? What's the other platform he does? Twitch.
Twitch.
He loves to Twitch during a race. Not Twitter, Twitch.
Twitch.
He likes to twitch while he races.
Well, I mean, it's nice that he does that, but he put that twitch down. Maybe he'll move up about 4 or 5 positions. He was fast, man. Last week he was fast, and he had a little bit of problem at the end where he probably should have put twitch down. But
right.
He drives well, and it's nice that he does that for his fans and his friends and people to come on. So we got to thank a lot of these guys that put a lot of time in just not racing, but also then twitching and putting it live for us and for new people to see.
Definitely, as he has been with the Bluegrass for a long time, representing. So in the High Side Hustler Motorsports, they've been doing a great job throughout the seasons, doing the same thing. But we got 26 drivers here tonight, more than what the Xfinity Series drivers had. And I will tell you this season, the Cup Series is really represented compared to seasons past, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, really doing a good showing with 26 drivers. Meanwhile, while we're watching Jason Bridges, Barrett Morton has made his way back onto the racing surface. We have a little under 51 seconds left in qualifying here. Jason Bridges trying to get that time lap as it comes out that final turn down the front straightaway. Let's see where he qualifies in at. Or did I lie? Oh.
No.
His time didn't register. He must have tapped something. So, must have tapped the wall or something like that. So, your top 5, Alex Montanelli, Peyton Hubbard, Mike Kostek, David Farmer, and Raphael Huby rounds out your top 5 in qualifying. Jonathan Swartz is 6th, Cofield is 7th, Atkins in 8th, 9th is Holder, and is it Foyty or Footy?
I say Foyt.
Foyt, there you go.
And trust me, I'm as dumb as a rock, so I'm going to call it Foyt.
We haven't been corrected yet, so we're doing good. All right, here is your starting lineup for the streets of Chicago. The 50-lap stage break on lap number 20. So we got to make it to the 20-lap mark before we get to that stage break. So let's go with our starting lineup. And on the pole tonight from Brazil, car number 19, Alex Montanelli, and to his outside, Next Level Racing, car number 51, Peyton Hubbard.
In the second row inside, number 8, Mike Kostek, and this outside of row number 2, David Farmer, number 84.
Row number 3 in the WJM Motorsports, car number 21, Raphael Huby, and to his outside, Team Hyperx and Sim Racing, car number 7, Jonathan Swartz.
In that fourth row inside, car number 58, Jonathan Cofield, and on the outside of Jonathan, number 57, Jonathan Atkins.
In row number 5 tonight in the Dakota Star Motorsports, car number 9, Braden Holder to his outside. And from Brazil, car number 90, Jeff Foyt.
In row number 6 on the inside, number 17, James Silver's on the outside of James Alex Healy, number 97.
In your 7th row tonight in Cornerstone Motorsports last season's champion, car number 14, is GT Hawkins. And to his outside, the All-American Motorsports car number 24, Sean Kaiser.
In row number 8, car number 11, Dustin Rysdale, and number 16, Wes Wigan, number 88.
In row number 9 to the inside, the Y&H Motorsports car number 15, Matt Grenier to his outside. In the Cornerstone Motorsports car number 44, Radburn Shutters.
In row number 10, our twitcher, if you may call it, Jason Bridges, number 34. On the outside of Jason is car number 6, Barrett Morton.
In row number 11, to the left and to the right, it'd be Daniel Cunningham and car number 85, representing JC Motorsports. And to his outside, the WJM Motorsports car number 42, the Bristol winner, Cody Anderson.
And now inside row number 12, number 25, Lucas Lyons from JC Motorsports. And the outside of Lucas, number 13, Brian Terry.
In your final row tonight, to the inside, he hails out of the United States, car number 45, Michael Robinson. And to his outside, it's Mr. Chuck Blake in the 49. That is your starting lineup for the stars and cars of the Bluegrass Cup Series. Well, it's going to be exciting. There's no full course cautions unless, I guess, the whole racing surface is blocked. So only section cautions or cautions, how do you say that? What's the correct wording I'm looking for here? Help me out, Billy.
No full course cautions?
no full course, but they're sector cautions, section I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Don't slow down. Just keep going.
That's right. The last man standing wins.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Like I said, the most importance of this whole race, honestly, the number one priority, if you can stay consistent, was qualifying to be up in the top 5, 6. Because you start getting back there in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 24th. I started in the 24th spot, moved up, but I mean, it's so hard to pass, and there's only like 2 or 3 passing points, and they're mainly the straightaways, the long straightaways, and sticking your nose in there and making it stick. Other than that, there's a couple turns that you just can't do nothing on. You can't do anything in turn 11 to 12. You can't do anything in turn 4 to 5. You can do that. It's a short straightaway, but you got to get yourself in there because it's a dog leg coming on that longest straightaway in this race, and you can actually put your nose in there. But like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In general, those 5 corners, 6 corners, you're not going to be much passing there. It's all going to be done from turn 2 on to 5, and from 5 on to 6, and maybe the front straightaway.
So I got a question for you. You see those traffic lights? Why do they come on, they turn red? Do you stop or keep on going?
Yeah. Man, it depends if they're in their eyes. You never know. It's like having a flagman wearing a red jacket, right? You
Right.
should be wearing red. Here they come down to the green, though.
That's right. The pace car has made that turn down pit road. The field's in the hands of Alex Montanelli. Green flag is out. We're racing here with the Bluegrass Cup Series at the streets of Chicago as they head into turn number 1. Peyton Hubbard and Nelly make contact. Whoa, Nelly, we got one around.
Yeah, he's gonna. Hopefully, everybody clears him. He's in the middle. He's not moving. He's just trying to buy us some time. So there goes a front row, all the way to the back. And we weren't even at speed yet.
No, we were not. And let's take a different look at it. As you look at the far chase, they were heading into turn number 1. Right there, the 51 and him, they just get really tight.
Yeah, he kind of squeezed it. Not that he did wrong. He just he made him come down a little bit to try to slow down, since part of his nose was at the door. So, Hubbard just tried to make it rough on him. It didn't do anything wrong. He just kind of made it rough, made him check up just a little bit, and he just was carrying too much speed.
Definitely Peyton Hubbard leading away with Farmer Hooby. Kostek and Schwartz right now, just your top 5. But as we see Peyton Hubbard in many road courses in the past, once he was out front, he always seems to pull away from your race leader, or from second place. Once he got in that race lead, Peyton Hubbard leading the way. Jeff Foyt gone around in the 90 machine. He's kept it there, waiting for all the cars to go around. From Brazil, Jeff Foyt.
Yep.
A lot of excitement, a tight little track, and you know, all honesty, watching some practice, certain parts of the racing surface is really rough. Was it rough on you Monday night?
Yeah, you know, it was real rough. Is there any way that, you know, we could do for the race fans? Is there any way that when we come around the next lap, coming down the straightaway, can we put it on the leader in the cockpit? Is that okay?
Yeah, we can.
Let's do that. Let's just show the race fans that what they actually see, and I could actually go over some pinpoints on what's happened. But let's just do it when he comes out of turn 12, because the track does have some. It has some dips and bumps, and they're right going in the middle of the apex.
I mean, it gets bumpy, it gets rough, and you know, this is something I noticed in practice. And let's look here.
So here comes Peyton now. He's going to come on the straightaway. And he's going to go down the front straightaway, the third longest straightaway here when he gets here. It looked like he was just there a second ago.
But you can see how rough the race surface is right there.
Especially right there, right. I mean, it's a handful right now. These cars are heavy, but it's a handful. And he's turning that wheel pretty hard because you're going to get a push in it. You're going to wear your tires out. But here he comes out of turn 12. He's going to come down the front straightaway. The third longest straightaway, he speeds about 130, 140 down to about 50. Coming down the front straightaway, staying close to the inside wall. Then he's going to scoot to the outside wall or inside wall of the pits and hard on braking. He's going to stay close to this thing where there's a dip right there. And then there's going to be a little bit of an uphill right at this NASCAR sign. There's a little bit of a little bit of up in there, so it kind of lightens up the rear end. This is probably the longest straightaway right now. This is where you're going to reach speeds a little higher. This is going to be a great passing point right here. This is a dog leg. You got to be careful. You got to be hard on the binder. It gets really bumpy right there, and it's going to be bumpy through this whole straightaway into this turn, this offset a little bit, off camber, and you can kind of blip it, get on the throttle right there in that secret corner that you can't see it, and then comes back on. He's got that car under control really well. No rear traction loose. Coming into the second longest straightaway, the braking point back there about the 4. He's going to brake extremely hard, and then you're going to go over the railroad tracks on the bridge. This is the bridge, the railroad tracks underneath there. Your car's going to get real light right there in the center, and then hard on the binders because it's got a little, you know, it's got that little undulation up on top. So when the bridge goes down, your rear end gets light. You got to stay close to that corner there on 8, and then you're going to come around this big sweeper. Got to stay close. We got to stay close to the left side right here to make this straight shot into this short shoot. You're not full throttle in here. You can't do it with the horsepower. Then you're going to come over the second bridge, and it's going to have the same scenario. The car's going to lighten up, and you're going to be hard on the binder as soon as you start coming down and make a right, and the car gets really loose here if you get on the throttle too hard, and this is another straight pass for anybody that wants to pass someone going into turn 1. That was a great little shot from him. Peyton did a great job of keeping that car under control.
Definitely he did, and what a good lap Peyton Hubbard did. And Billy, you described it to the race fans of what the driver actually goes through. But you look at it right now, David Farmer has closed the gap on Peyton Hubbard right now. Oh, he makes a little contact with the outside wall. And right behind him is Raphael Huby, Mike Kostek, and Jonathan Schwartz. Is your top 5 right now. And let's go look, try to see if we can find our Twitter buddy, our Twitch buddy.
Jason Bridges.
Yeah, let's see if I can find him real quick. And he's doing pretty good. He's a top 10. Yes.
He's in a 10 spot right now. That's good. That's great for him. You know, right there is that dog leg, and then that off camber right there. You can blip it right here and get some speed, and it's not going to kill you because you can get the car a little bit loose going around that corner. Got fairly good side bite right there, but it does no good forward bite if you decide to get on the throttle hard. Now here's a good passing point behind Jeff. Behind Jeff is going to be Kaiser, and then Greiner and Wingland and Morton. This is where they're going to pass. The car's right behind. This is going to be a passing point if somebody can get a good run coming off turn 5 because it's a straightaway, and you're going to have to break the guy in front of you. And the only way to do that is, honestly, don't get impatient. Follow the guy in front of you for a lap or two because you're not going to get around him even if you're a half a second faster. It's very difficult to do that. So ride it out and see where his weakness is and pounce all over his weakness.
Definitely. As now you look at Peyton Hubbard, he's starting to pull away from David Farmer now a little bit. I mean, it comes and goes. He has some good laps. He has some bad laps. But, Peyton Hubbard is pretty consistent when he's out front, as I said before, on the street courses. It's right now 4 laps are the book, so we're on lap number 5. So 16 laps until the stage break here. James Silvers racing the 17 machine GG's. I just love that sponsor's name, Billy. GG's.
I can't get close enough, or my eyes aren't good enough to see the back of it. It's real good. But if you look behind GG's, the car behind him, I just only caught a glance. You saw him. He slapped his tail against the wall a little bit. So a lot of these guys are going to do that throughout the race. Maybe they're not the top 3, top 4, but in general, this is a loose track with not a lot of traction. So you're going to slap your tail on the walls. Almost 75% of the ladies, the guys are going to do this. There's an overbraking right there.
Lucas Lyons, that was our replay of Lucas Lyons. He overbraked, got in those tires.
Yeah, you got to hit your marks. You got to be so consistent. It's not even funny. Race fans out there, this track is far harder than what we were at Bristol. It's you could say it's a rhythm track, but it's really not, because you can't push the car. But it is a rhythm track. You got to hit your marks, be consistent, get on your brakes exactly at the same point every time. Your marks got to be 100% perfect unless you're going to pass. And if you're going to pass and you're going to go that 105, you better make sure it sticks.
Definitely. Right now, as 5 laps are down to Bucks, 15 to go, as we're on lap number 6. And let's go over real quick. Since there's really no full course cautions, we don't really get to say the sponsor very much tonight. So let's go talk about Cofield Supplies and Services is the caution sponsor for the Bluegrass Iracing Cup Series. And, they do a lot for Bluegrass. Even Brian Terry does a lot for Bluegrass. Quite a few drivers that I'm trying to get to. When you want something, it's never there for you. You know that, Billy?
Right.
Yep. Now I got it. So here it is. At Cofield Supplies and Services, we have over 20 years in the contractor and sprayer industries in Alabama. Our teams of professionals have some of the most up-to-date training and experience to help you with our industrial needs. We make it simple to purchase all of your sprayer products, sprayer accessories, and asphalt repair supplies and services from one source. We specialize in sprayer sales, repairs, and diagnostics. At Cofield Supplies and Services, the caution sponsor for the Bluegrass Cup Series. Well, Billy, you said, what did we miss?
We missed the second place car. I believe he crashed out. I just caught the glimpse of it when we shadowed it. I believe it was in turn 11 coming out or going in. He was behind Peyton, which is really doing a fantastic job. Let's see. Was it Farmer?
It was David Farmer.
I think maybe his 4th spot.
There he is,
yes.
overbraked.
Yep. It's that corner. That corner is tighter than it looks. You really have to slow down. You're not giving it full throttle to that short shoot because it's McDonald's. It's the McDonald's hall of a short straightaway. All you see is McDonald's sign, so you better not look to your left because it's like right on your window net. And there's another car, number 57.
Jonathan Atkins doing the same thing.
Yeah, so you can't really give it full throttle there, but you got to be on the brakes hard. Again, this whole track is about being on the brakes extremely hard. There's no smoothness to this. If you get off your brakes and you roll 5 miles an hour faster, you're going to wreck your car. That's the bottom line. You got to hit your marks and you got to you got to be smooth coming out. So, it shows you right here going around the sweeper and the carousel. This is a great shot. You got to get close to that wall to make that corner really nice and tight because you can make it a straight shot. If you stay on a little bit farther outside of that sweeper, you got to make a hard right to get down to this McDonald's short shoot, and your car's just going to bounce around it because it's really bouncy there, and you're going to hit the wall. You're going to slap it.
Well, David Farber, let's see what happens to him here.
Got in too tight. Got in too hard. Now he's going to go in the pits.
Yep. So, David Farber down pit road a little early, maybe trying to get some damage fixed. Peyton Hubbard lead the way. Raphael Hubie, Jonathan Swartz, Mike Kostek, and Jonathan Cofield is your top 5. Wes Wiggin, let's see here. He lit up the board momentarily. Don't know why.
I think he's 14th. He's about 14th.
Yep, 14th. But he seems fine right now. I don't know why he lit up the scoreboard. But Alex Healy getting underneath him for that pass.
Well, you got Hubbard the car, and he turned a 127.762. He was the first one in a 127. Then you had Raphael Hubie. He turned a 127.101. That's like 0.6 faster than Peyton. So, and then Jonathan Swartz got into 127. Everybody else is still in the 128s, 129. So now you have 3 cars in the 127s that are starting to roll, get into the rhythm, know their tires. They're going to burn your tires up. You're going to burn your rears up more than you are in your front, but you're going to burn these tires up. These Goodyears are just not going to last. Look at right there, another
Healy.
car.
Alex Healy. Yeah. Just totally missed that turn. But it looks like they're, maybe those tires ain't doing too much damage to these cars.
No, they're the most that I've seen that it's done to these cars besides wreck the car in general. But really, what I've seen a lot of, it doesn't look like damage, but it looks when they hit like that, they actually damage the front end, the front wheel, the right front, the left front, and then you got to come into pits and get that fixed. And it's about a 2-minute fix right now. So here's a great one with Mike Kostek coming out of turn 5, going down that second longest straightaway. Nobody's behind him right now, but this gets it's a little bumpy, but you got to get to the far right as possible, break about the 4 mark right there, and he gets on the binders really hard. You got to stay tight or you get loose and you spin. So there he got tight, got up against the wall, and then the bridge. Again, you get really light right here, and then you're going to brake hard to this right, which is really narrow in this Xfinity Mobile section. And then you got to get close to this right-hand wall right here and start popping a gear and footing it. You're not pedaling this like full wood. This all you're pedaling, you're back pedaling, and you actually oversteer on this track more than you steer, really, honestly.
So these drivers are busy here tonight. And you see the 49 of Chuck Blake getting out of the way. He's a lap car for Mike Kostek, who's currently running 4th right now, as we're coming to complete lap number 9 with Mike Kostek. So 9 laps on the board. Let's look back. Let's see here. That's a neat little view.
Yeah, that's a great view. We get someone behind him, get a car that's behind him, and it's really interesting to watch these guys. This track's got a lot of dips in the middle of the apexes, and if you hit it, the front end gets light, or you can honestly say it bounces the car to the wall. So there's a lot of this stuff is just a lot of foot pedaling. You got to be really smooth. You're never going to give it full wood gas for another 100 to 200 feet. And sometimes when you shift gears from second to third, you actually will spin the wheels, and it can get you in trouble.
So we're in the back of Barrett Morton's machine, and right behind him is that 44 of Radbird Shutters. And how about that? On the iRacing top 5, listed number 1 was the Bluegrass Cup Series, and at the very end, you saw a pass right there. Radbird Shutter's got his name in there.
That's awesome. Yep.
So, Radbird Shutters now is taking over that 11th spot from Barrett Morton, and he made it look kind of easy.
I think he might let him go just a little bit, because he probably knew he was faster, and there's not a lot of places. So, but he'll get in a rhythm. You'll do that. You could let someone go, or you're gonna get pushed around like a rag doll. Depends on what you want. So I think he just might have just let him go and said, look, you're faster. Just get ahead, and it's a respect issue. You show respect and you'll get respect. You're not always going to be the fast cat every race. That's the bottom line. So if you give respect, you get respect throughout the season.
Definitely you do. As Jeff Foyt on the 90 machine, we're just looking at all his cameras he has available for us. And Matt Grenier on his nose there. Matt Grenier currently running in that 16th spot. Alex Healy right behind him in the 97. They are teammates.
We got a new leader.
We do. And it is Raphael Hubby making that pass. And let's see if we can rewind it for the race lead. Kind of see what happens. Let's see, that must have happened
Couple laps ago.
Couple laps ago. Well, how about Raphael? And right ahead of him is Brian Terry, who's the lap car. So Brian Terry kind of holding him up just a tad bit. He's going to allow Raphael to get around him. Peyton Hubbard right there stuck behind him. Now he gets around Brian Terry. So, and here comes the 7 of Jonathan Schwartz.
Yeah, keep your eye on Schwartz now. He's starting to get in the low 127s also. Schwartz, Hubby, and Hubbard, all 127s. But then you got Kostek and Jonathan Cofield and Hotkins. They're right there in that 3rd, 4th spot. They're sitting back, I think, about 7 seconds. Cofield's back about 16, so he's down. He's back a couple corners. But again, I guarantee I could almost see if we watch this race for every car, 65% of the cars are going to slap the wall because it's just it's so narrow and you're carrying so much speed and the braking so important.
Definitely. There's the thing again. We got a Glory Pole, Sponsor Machine in the 14, and GG's right behind them.
GG's again. That's it. It's gonna be interesting towards the pit stops. Like I said, I mentioned it before the race started about I feel pit strategy is important. I am not 100% sure, but I can give my spectrum on it. Is these guys are getting about 0.59 gallons a lap, and they're only getting, I believe, 9.98 gallons per tank. So what this really boils down to is, I don't know if you can conserve on this track because you're going to get passed or what, but they're going to come in for a couple pit stops and find out who's changing tires, because they can go maybe max it. I'm thinking 16 and a half laps. We'll find out here with Hubbard and Hubby and Schwartz. If they go 16 laps, that's 32 laps, and it's a 50-lap race, 42, 6, 48. They're going to have to make 2 pit stops. And if they burn more fuel, they might have to come in for an extra. I don't think they will. So I consider a full tank with 2 pit stops, and we're going to go back out of the pits. If you come out of the pits, where I said about pit strategy earlier, if you come out of the pits in traffic, let's say there's 10 cars on that front straightaway, you're coming out, guess what? You can't come out. It's almost impossible to come out because the blend line, as soon as you hit the left cone coming out of the pits, you're right in the racing line. And that's their racing line. They can't slow down because if they brake, they're going to crash. So you might have to wait 3 or 4 seconds to come out until the straightaway's clear. And that's going to play a factor on you moving up positions.
Well, another little thing to watch right here. You see, it's the driver's inputs. The steering wheel on the right-hand side. And you look at the dips. The dips is when he's off the gas. When it's flat, he's nice and steady on the gas. And when it goes up, he floors it. Right there, you see it dips down low on the brake.
Hubbard's not letting them out. Hubbard's not letting them out of his sight. And neither is Schwartz. They're those top 3 right there. They're buying some time. They're just trying to stay consistent. They know that they're running such the same around a lap times, I would say, honestly, within probably 2 or 3 tenths of each other. So they're going as fast as anybody. So going any faster, right there.
And
Hubbard got loose and slapped the tail of the wall.
And look at the driver input there. See how sharp it was?
Right.
Kind of like a heart monitor.
Right. Yep.
You want to get sinus rhythm going, not...
Yeah, these guys are going to slap their tail like hanging out in a strip joint all day, trust me.
Oh, yes. And how...
But they can't go any faster. They really can't. They're the fastest 3 on the track. If you go any faster, you're going to not hit your mark, and that's what's going to get you in some serious trouble. So they're just going to buy time, and hopefully coming into pits for fuel, one guy might go a little slower, 52 miles an hour or 45 miles an hour or whatever it may be, and then the other guy might go the same speed, the speed limit recommended, and you're going to make up time. So these 3 got their eye on each other. They're not letting each other out of sight.
Well, let's talk about the weather. So, the track temp is 75 degrees. The air temp's 71 degrees. The wind's blowing 2 miles an hour. 45% humidity and overcast skies. So is that going to play more on the grip side for these Cup cars?
Yeah, when it starts getting up there, it starts getting looser. I think personally for me, sometimes I think a hotter track is easier for me to drive. I don't know why. For some reason, when the cars are faster, I think the car seems looser because we're carrying so much more speed. But right now, the track conditions is ideal. Is ideal track conditions right now for these guys.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, as you look right there in the Gaza Law Firm, car number 21 leading the way, and right in front of him is that 42, last week's winner of Cody Anderson, trying to fight to stay on the lead lap, as actually now he's going to let Raphael go around him, and Raphael will pin him, basically, a lap car between him and second.
Yeah, him and Hubbard right now. He's gonna play get in the middle. He didn't want to slow down too much. He doesn't want to give up his position. We're racing here. There's a lot of race here. You just can't lay over and die because you're not in the top 10. Even though he's a lap down, don't worry. He'll give these guys room. See, right there it is. Just great respect, great driving by Cody. I mean, again, he doesn't want to mess up anybody's rhythm. But again, you're a racer. You're trying to make up your lap. If he was as fast as them, he would stay up with him, and he would give himself a little bit of room to pass him, but he'd want to stay up there. But right now he's off pace just a little bit.
As now we're on the nose cam of the 7, Jonathan Swartz. Look at him as the 51, the paint number comes down pit road, and you can see Raphael Huby right ahead of him.
Yeah, I don't know. That's lap 16. I said 16, so I kind of took a lap or two on and I went and just took a couple laps in one of these cars and try to get a good frame of laps. So Huby's trying to go maybe one more lap. I bet you he comes in this time unless he runs out early. But again, you got to come in. I would have waited. I think if I had enough fuel, I'd have waited for Huby to come in. I would have followed him just for the simple fact is we'll find out if we keep eye on Peyton how he comes out and how fast he gets out, or is he going to hit traffic?
That's for sure. And really talking about Raphael, what a respectful guy that he is. I mean, we heard him talking to us last week. He almost won a race a couple weeks prior, and he lost it coming out turn number 4. I mean, so he's really proved to be one heck of a racer. And to be honest with you, I don't think he's finished out top 5 in the last 3 to 4 races.
He's from Brazil. I mean, honestly, I'm being straight up truthful. The Brazilians drive dirty sometimes. I mean, they're so aggressive. It's not a dirty, it's just aggressive. But all their Brazilians, they're so fast. It's like they're born to race. Really, they're just so fast. Definitely,
as Raphael leading the way here, looking to win stage 1. I mean, he wants to, and he's going to make another lap as Jonathan Swartz comes in.
That surprises me. Where's Schwartz at? Is he in the pits right now?
He's coming down pit road.
Let's see if we can keep an eye on him. Let's see if what we have talked about a strategy for a second. So let's see if he takes tires coming out, what he has to do. Now, don't forget, he can't see anybody on the straightaway. He can see the roof line over the wall, but that's about it. So he's got to count on his relative. If he's not watching his relative and he pulls out in traffic, he didn't take tires, he can run into someone. So see anybody's coming on the straightaway yet, or is he going to come right out? Perfect. That's a perfect pit stop, perfect timing to come out with nobody coming. And right behind them, is that Peyton Hubbard?
Yes, it is. So
he made some time.
He did. And you look at it, Jonathan Swartz went down pit road his second spot, came out in second. But Cofield, Silvers, Hawkins, whole slew of drivers down pit road now. And here's GT Hawkins coming out pit road along with James Silvers. Take a look at it.
See right there, you get right into traffic. The car right there next to him clipped the wall, but he let him go. So that was good, but you can't just pull out. You're not going to. When we see a car come out with all these cars coming down this front straightaway, it could get ugly, or you're going to buy some time and lose 3 or 4 or 5 seconds.
As you look, there comes Sean Kaiser off of pit road. Raphael coming down pit road on lap number 17.
Yeah, that's a great pit right there. I would have stayed with him unless you're burning up fuel. He's got to be saving. He's already got a bit 0.55 fuel to make that 17-18 lap. I mean, he really did a great job on his fuel savage.
And that's one thing, you really think about. Maybe he stayed behind Peyton Hubbard just to maybe save some fuel. And here we come. There's pit road there. There's Raphael still down pit road.
But he's taking tires most likely.
Yep, he's leaving pit road. Jonathan Swartz takes the lead there. And there's Raphael coming out.
Garza's pushing him.
Yes.
Now Schwartz is going to take over the lead.
Peyton Hubbard in that second spot there. Raphael go look to the inside of Alex Healy. He does get around Alex Healy. Alex Healy lapped down in that 17th spot. So you look at it, we're on lap number 18. Peyton Hubbard got a little loose there. So he's going to get some good bonus points for the stage break. The top 10 are. And your top 10 look like this right now. Jonathan Swartz, Peyton Hubbard, Raphael Hubie, Mike Kostek, GT Hawkins, James Silvers, Jonathan Cofield, Jason Bridges in 8th in that 34 machine. Doing a good job here tonight. Alex Montanelli, he's in the 9th spot. After spinning on the opening lap, he was your pole sitter going in turn number 1. Sean Kaiser in 10th with Radbird Shutters in 11th. And you see right behind him is David Farber, who was running up front, had some contact, overshot a turd, hit the brakes hard into the inside wall. That caused him to take an early pit stop and get some damage repaired. But meanwhile, your top 3, Billy, you could throw a blanket definitely over your top 2, that's for sure, because Raphael's coming.
He's coming. They're gonna figure something out here right now. They don't want to be burning up their tires. You know, it takes a toll on these Goodyear tires. But you know, you got the top 3, Schwartz, Hubbard, and Hubie. You got them that's been up there since the start. But keep your eye on Kostek and Hawkins, Silvers, Cofield, Bridges. I mean, they're a little bit farther back in second, you know, in about 20 seconds, 15 seconds. But that still doesn't mean anything with 50 laps, 31 laps to go. We don't have a strong battle, but we do have, you know, the separation about 5 seconds for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Let's see if we can see Michael Kostek and see where he's at right now and see how far it is actually 20 seconds so you can see.
There's Michael Kostek right there.
Coming out of 5 and 6, going to 6. So he's in the middle of the track right now, and the leaders are probably got to be on the front straightaway or coming on the front straightaway.
They are. Road courses get me gets me so confused.
They're coming with the sweeper.
Yeah. Yep. And Peyton Hubbard is all over that back bumper, the number 7. Peyton Hubbard, you know, he has some damage on the left front quarter panel of that car. Probably made some contact with the outside wall there at some point during the race. The white flag is out. 1 more to go. Checker flag will be out next time for the stage break. And who is going to pick up the most bonus points here in the first stage? Is it going to be Swartz?
I don't know. Peyton's pushing it. He's got his rear end a little bit loose right now. He's burning up those tires right now. He almost thought about making a move right there. Really bumpy. You gotta stay when you brake there going into 3, 4, especially through that dog leg. You have to, right there it is. He's trying to make a move right now on the outside. That means Schwartz is going to have the inside. Is he going to let him have it? Here comes Hubie right now. He's going to stay on the outside, and Schwartz is going to have to really stay on the binders without, you know, taking himself out or anybody else. That was a great drive and great run by Hubbard.
Definitely. As you look, Peyton Hubbard now your race leader. Jonathan Swartz falls back to 2nd. Oh, Hubbard slaps that retaining wall there.
Yep. It happens. It's going to happen to everybody throughout this race. There comes Hubby now. Hubby is he's looking. This is coming down to the stage point checkered, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Every point is valuable for Raphael Hubie and Jonathan Swartz. Really doesn't matter for the 51 as they're coming out of the final turn to the flag stand to get the checkered for the stage break. As the caution has not came out yet, so then it makes you kind of.
Are they gonna throw the yellow, or are they gonna keep going and just give the stage points?
Well, I don't know. That is something I don't know because normally the yellow comes out.
Right now. Hubie's trying to make a move to that dog leg. Is he gonna outbrake him right here and throw it on the inside? Not gonna do it there. To see if he tries to get a run. You got to be smooth coming off this. A little dip right there. You get loose coming off the track, off the corner right there. Now he's going to get a move going forwards, trying to get some forward bite. Doesn't look like he has enough right now. Schwartz is holding that position nicely.
Definitely
here he comes in front of Huber. He's going to extend it. He overbroke. He got on the brakes too late. He took himself out, and then Huber with him. And there goes Hubie right now taking the lead again.
Jonathan Swartz, heavy damage to that vehicle. He just overshot it trying to take that lead.
Yeah, we go back. You put your nose where it doesn't belong, and this is what happens. And he had such a good race car. It's too bad that happened. But again, the track is bumpy. You got to be careful getting on the binders hard, because if you're not being consistent, he overshot his braking point probably a good 5 car lengths. And I know he didn't mean to do that. I don't even think he was going for the lead. I think he just forgot where his braking point was at that time. He was thinking of something else. Because he's better than that.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd like to find out what went on there. I don't think he tried to make a move. I think his braking point was... And it's so easy to lose track because you're focusing on people around you and you're focusing on your braking point and you can't see. So I think that was just a tough luck for him. And that was sad because he was really fast.
Definitely it was. And it got to make you wonder, either they got stage points or the stage changed laps. You know, maybe it's 25, maybe it's halfway.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder, maybe we got misinformed here, but that's all right.
I think they're gonna keep racing. I don't think they're gonna throw the checker for stage. I think they're gonna give it to him in the top 10 at that lap, and they're gonna keep it rolling, because I think bunching up these cars again is gonna be like not good for this race, because it could cause more accidents than what's out there now.
Definitely. And you know, the admin's racing, so that might be a little hard to do. But right now, Raphael Hubie out front with Peyton Hubbard in second. Mike Kostek in third position from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. GT Hawkins down in that fourth position with, look at this, Jason Bridges in the top 5 in the High Side Hustler Motorsports, car number 34.
Good job, Jason. He's moving up 14 spots. JT Hawkins has already moved up 9. Raphael 4, but we expect Raphael to be up there, honestly. And not that we're not expecting these other guys, but again, he qualified well, so he's not going to move up a lot of business. But Jason and Hawkins and actually Cody Anderson, Shutters and Morton, they've all moved 8 spots up to like 14 spots, and then you have Kaiser. He's moved up 5. So now we got a two-way battle with Hubby and Hubbard, and then Kostek and Hawkins and Bridges and Silver's all battling out for that third spot.
Definitely. You know, right now we're watching Alex Montanelli there. You know, he was your pole sitter, went to 26th position in the first turn, and he's made his way up to the 8th spot, Billy. So he's passed a lot of cars. They just don't show it because he went to negative pretty quick.
Yeah, he was actually Alex Montanelli. He was actually second fastest in practice. He actually ran a 1:27.006. So we know he's got it in him. We know he can go fast. He just lost some ground. So we still have 25, 27 laps left. He's got a lot of room to make up. He's got a lot of time to make up. He's 42 seconds back. He's on the lead lap. He's right behind Coalfield about a half a second, and Silvers, he's up maybe 3 seconds behind him. So we're going to keep our eye on this little 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th battle, because I think they're going to start accordion. I think they're going to start bunching up.
Definitely. So there is the 34, Jason Bridges. There's James Silvers. And right there is Jonathan Cofield and Alex Montanelli, who's in an 8th spot. So GT Hawkins in 4th right now, doing a good job trying to close in on Mike Kostek, who's in that 3rd position. And you look, he got some good distance between him and GT Hawkins. Mike Kostek does.
Yeah, there's probably about, I don't know, I'd probably say about 6 seconds between them. The closest battle right now is pretty much the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Those guys are starting to bunch up. Now, if one makes a mistake, you know, it could even bunch them up more. And we're not talking mistake. It's just this is so difficult to drive this track. I love this track. Believe it or not, I wish I could have a mulligan and do it all over again in the trucks, because it was a great race. I made a mistake and I got too far back, and then made one more, and then I just said, you know what, I don't want to. I wrecked my truck, so there's no sense of going out there and being 10 laps down and being in trouble people's way. But this is a fun track. I think they'll make changes in 2024 NASCAR to make this a little bit more, I'd say, user friendly on a couple areas that are really narrow. But we'll have to see. Definitely,
it's produced some good racing here tonight. As you look at Raphael Hubie looking to go around. Is that Jeff Foyt? Jeff Foyt, that is. So Jeff Voigt going a lap down in that 14th position. So Alex is lapped all the way up, or Raphael is lapped all the way up to 14th.
Yeah, you got Raphael and you got Peyton, both now going into 126.8s and 126.9s. Those were those last 2 laps. Those are flying. I mean, that is really flying right now. Kostak is still with a 128. Hawkins is 129. His best lap was a 127. So, you know, these guys are getting in. They're getting into a rhythm. Hit your marks. It's like he just clipped the wall right there. He clipped the inside wall. I believe that was number 17. That was Jason Silvers. But you gotta, if you don't get on the inside wall of the corner you're turning, you're going to be off track, and you're in a lot of marbles. So you really got to keep that car tight, and you got to take a chance, because if you get offline, the car just gets really loose, like it just did. They're going to be you're going to little power slide. You're going to power slide through these turns, but you're also going to be counter steering the whole time also.
Definitely, as you look at James Silvers getting around Matt Grenier, who's a lap down, and you talked about it. Silvers, Bridges, Montanelli, and Jonathan Cofield, they're all right there.
Yeah, they're separated not by much now. There's only about, let's say, 3 seconds, which there was about 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds 2 laps ago between those 4. Now it's all narrowed down to about 2.5 seconds between the 4. So I think everybody's going good speed. It's just that everybody's starting to, get faster behind, or the guys in the back are starting to get really quick, running 0.3 quicker. So that's going to help. But it's going to have a good battle here coming up for these 4 guys. See how this narrows out in the McDonald's? If you don't hit that corner straight and get close to the inside wall of that sweeper, and then get to the inside corner of that turn, it's not a straight shot. And you're going to hit the wall. It's just that narrow. It's so important to get through 8 and 9 coming out, and then getting in on the corner, and 10 to meet 11. It's very narrow. You can't make a mistake there.
Definitely. Now you go, you said McDonald's, there's the Blue Cross area. Yep. Jason Bridges made some contact.
His car pushed out. He was carrying too much speed. There's a little bump. There's a little bump in the middle of that apex, and that's what happens if you're carrying speed. So when you're trying to carry speed more than what you usually do, that's why you have to be very, very consistent. The car is going to get light in the front end, and it's going to push you towards the wall.
And now you look at 6.5 seconds separates first and second out, Raphael Huby and Peyton Hubbard. There's Peyton Hubbard in that 51 machine from Knoxville, North Carolina, making his first series start of the season tonight for the Cup Series.
We're going to have to see where the second pit stops are going to come around. We know they can't go all the way. Hubbard, and I wish, again, Jonathan was there. He had such a good car. But we know Peyton, he came in on lap 16. Huby came in on lap 18. Well, he was 17, but he was coming around in the pits. He's going to pass 18. So let's see how that's going to play factor. And yeah, so Hubbard 15. I said 16. 17. Again, you got to give them a lap because they're coming across the mark that gets 18 and 16. So Kozak 14. He came in early. Kozak came in real early.
And you look at Anderson, he came in on lap number 10. So, I mean, in that 10th spot there. So you look at the pit strategy. So we're closing in on pit stops, especially with Kostak getting close to it.
Yeah, Anderson came in lap 10. Something went wrong there, because you're going to have to get, I think the max you get of 2 pit stops with the fuel you started is only a lap and a half. So he might end up doing three pit stops versus 2 everybody else. So that might set him back just a little bit. If you're going 16 laps, that's 32, that's 48, it's a 50 lap race. You only got 2 laps to play with. So he came in lap 10. So he's going to end up doing 3 pit stops.
He definitely
might have came in for repairs.
He might have made some contact with the outside retaining wall at some point in time, as we're looking right now at Mike Kostak there, coming through the McDonald's bridge. Too bad there ain't like a drive-through window. You can get you a drink.
Like they do marathon runners. They pass it through the table. Here, take this.
Pit
here
stops
comes Kostak. Yeah, to see if he changes fuel. He's coming in a little early too. He's going, he's coming in early.
So he's going to have to make one more pit stop. So you got to wonder, will Raphael try to make it a two-stop strategy? Do you
Absolutely.
think
Absolutely.
he's going to try with 23 to go?
Yeah, he's going to go one more, and that's it. He's going to go the way. I think the gentleman that we were just watching come in, who was in the pits we were just watching.
That was Mike Kostek in the 8 machine.
Yeah, I think Kostek. Don't forget that's 37 laps. I'm sorry. That's 27 laps. I don't think he's not gonna make it. He's got to come in one more time.
Raphael leading the way. Peyton Hubbard now 8 seconds behind him in the 51 machine. There he is, Peyton Hubbard. He has Brian Terry right ahead of him. Going to make a pass. There's GT Hawkins now in third. In the 14, the Glory Pole sponsor machine, Chuck Blake. Let's take a look at him. He is getting passed by the 8. Oh, the 34 is around. Jason Bridges. Let's take a look at what Jason did.
Whoa, overbroke. Didn't break. Just kind of, maybe just carrying too much speed.
Yeah. Used 11 as a mark. He used 11. Yeah. He gave some right side romance.
Yeah, there you go. A little kiss, but he got the worst end of that deal.
He definitely did. Alex Healy now coming down pit road in his number 97 machine as Raphael continues to lead us. We got 22 laps to go here. Peyton Hubbard still in second. GT Hawkins in third. Alex Montanelli, your pole sitter tonight, has just gotten around James Silvers in the 17 for that fourth position. So, I mean, he's making his way back. This could be a Brazilian 1-2 at the end of this race with 22 laps to go.
Yeah, there's not many cars right now. Maybe 14 cars on the lead lap. Possibility could be 15. So there's not a lot of cars on the lead lap. Everybody's about 1, 2, 3, 4 laps down. And, it just shows you on the field, how many cars did we get today?
26.
26, so half the field is a lap down. So like we went back to talking earlier before the race started, I said 65% of the guys are going to end up slapping a wall or getting some trouble. So right now we're almost at 50% that are a lap down. So it's tough. It's a tough track. It's a tough, lot of horsepower, no traction. But look, we got still Bridges in that A spot, Kaiser, Shutters, Holder, Morton, Foyt, Anderson, all on the top 14. Cunningham, that's the last car on the lead lap.
Yep, in the 85 machine from Winchester, Virginia. The Rowdy Energy Drink Carter 85. I kind of like that car.
Yeah, nice looking car. A lot of great painters out here in sim racing. A lot of great computer painters.
Definitely. They have shown. I mean, I like Gigi's car. You know what I mean? That 17 just kind of stands out. Would love to know what Gigi's is. I just really want to know. And every time I ask, they chuckle. So it has to be something.
It sounds like a grandmother to me. How many kids call their grandmothers Gigi? So I think it could be just a grandmother.
I mean, we don't know. We're just guessing. But like last week, I asked who Gigi's was. It was a little giggle.
Yeah. He's not driving like grandma, so he's doing a great job. You got Peyton. Now Peyton's still in that second spot. Booby, he's out there now about 12 seconds. He's rocking and rolling. This guy's rolling 126s on just the last 3, 5, 6 laps. It's unbelievable that he's running that fast right now. Peyton's ran a 126 as his best. He was in 126, 127s. His last lap was a 129. Well, you take that 126.9 and a 129.5, that's about 2.5 seconds faster in one single lap. That's a lot.
It is. And you look at it, at the pit strategy there, it's been 13 laps since Raphael Hubie made a pit stop with 20 to go. So we know, at 4 more laps. So he's going to try to make this on a 2-stop race. A totally different strategy than most of the drivers, as Peyton Hubbard is coming with 15 laps since the last pit stop.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. He's gonna make it, I'm sure. I'm sure he's got this calculation. He's way smarter than I am. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's gonna have much. He's gonna be within a lap before running out of fuel.
Definitely. He's definitely smarter than me. You know, I'll be like on the radio, are you sure?
Dude, I'm surprised I'm even helping you. I can't even walk and chew gum.
Well, that's
It's
all right.
it's hard.
I chewed gum last night and bit my tongue almost off. I don't even know how that even happened, but it sure hurt.
Yeah, so he ran a 127 Hoobie right now. I believe Peyton's in the pits, is he? Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, Peyton Hubbard coming down for his pit stop. So he's going to make one more pit stop tonight. Peyton Hubbard.
Can we see the car lift if he takes tires?
Yeah, we can watch. Let's just see.
I can't believe they're keeping the same set of tires on, to tell you the truth. That's unbelievable. I'd really like to see the tire wear in this. It's got to be down to probably 70, 65.
Well, I can tell you this. The Road America,
Uh-huh.
they did not take tires all night long. In fact, they were quicker on older tires than new tires.
Wow.
But that was 2 seasons ago. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I
Tire
mean,
models changed.
yeah, tires, models change and stuff like that. Maybe that's kind of like the ordeal tonight. Not sure. But
James Silver's in that 3rd spot right now. He's doing a great job. That's number 17. Cofield's he's sitting right behind him. Right there's that 3rd, 4th spot, and both them got to come in for fuel. I didn't see their fuel mileage up there, but I think they're both on the same strategy within a lap.
they haven't made a pit stop yet. Alex Montanelli did just make a pit stop in that number 19 machine.
Kozak made 3 pit stops?
He's had 3 pit stops. He's on lap number 4 on his 3rd pit stop there.
So that brings it really out to 22 laps. He might have to come in again.
Yeah, he might. He's really pushing it.
Yeah, he's really and he's up there in that 5th spot right now. He's running. His last lap was a 127.9. I'm sorry, 128.9. He ran a 127.9. So he's running really well. He's running some very good lap times right now. Cofield's just take over the 4th spot from Silvers.
And look at Kostek. Silver's overshot there. That allows Kostek to get around him. Kostek move him to 4th as Silvers drops back to that 5th position. Jonathan Cofield coming down pit road along with James Silvers. So they're going to try. I mean, it's 18 laps to go. 17. They haven't done a 17 lap run. So they're going to
I think they're able. Yeah, I think they're able to get it. Honestly, I mean, the only reason to say this, it's not any disrespect to anybody. Please, you got Hoobie. He ran 17 laps coming down pit lane. Really gave him 18 laps, but he came in on lap 17. He would have made 18. If he can go 18, these guys should be able to go 18 unless they're really burning up their tires. For the simple fact is, Hoobie's got to be running the worst fuel mileage of all because he's the fastest car on the track.
Definitely he is, but he's the most stablest car on the track if you look at him.
Yeah, he's got really good foot control. He's got great braking. He's staying real consistent. He's not burning those tires up. So if you're not spinning those good years, you're gonna save some fuel, and that's what he's doing. He's driving extremely clean. He's staying consistent. He's hitting his marks. He's not overdriving the car. That's what's one of the most critical things you can do right now on this track is overdrive your car.
And you look at Kostek, Hawkins, and Montanelli. Look at the gaps there.
Up.
Yes. Montanelli made his final pit stop. Now looking to get around GT Hawkins. He does. So Montanelli to 4th. He's going to have his eyes set ahead of him of Mike Kostek. And then you got Peyton Hubbard way out there in that 2nd spot. And then you got Raphael Hoobie. I mean, you look at it. Hubbard is 45 seconds behind Hoobie.
Yeah, that's simply unbelievable because Peyton is so fast and he's such a great driver. I think Raphael he's coming in the fuel now, and this is lap 30. I'm sorry, lap 33. Yeah, 33.
When he goes back out, it'll be 16 laps to go. So this is his final stop of the night. There's Peyton Hubbard, but let's look at Raphael. Let's see, does he take any tires or anything on the stop? He's just taking fuel. That's what it looks like. Just taking some fuel.
You can see these cars coming down that front straightaway. Let's see where he comes back. If we get a shot of the cars coming on the straightaway, if he gets to go right out or he has to stop. No, he gets right out clean.
And there is Peyton Hubbard. So Hubbard, I mean, you look at it. I mean, that's phenomenal, the lead that Raphael Hubie has.
Yeah, he's just running. He's running very good. Here comes Hubbard now in the pits.
For his final stop of the night, Peyton Hubbard.
Yep.
So.
And let's see where he comes out, if he makes any ground. How good is his pit stops? How good is his pit speed? Is he staying at the pit speed, or is he falling off? Sometimes people go about 2 or 3 miles under pit speed because, you know, they're afraid to get a little faster or work the throttle. So let's just see how Peyton's dropping down to third. He's going to probably drop down to maybe, he won't drop down to fourth. He'll stay in the third spot, I believe. And he got a great pit stop. Great pit stop.
Definitely he did. And now you look at it. Kostek moves to that second spot there in that number 8 machine. Peyton Hubbard is way back there in third. And Montanelli in fourth there. There's Montanelli. So 16 laps to go. Montanelli can probably crack the top 3, but Peyton Hubbard's going to have to make a mistake.
Yeah, he doesn't make much mistakes, but honestly, anything can happen. This guy's a fast cat. He is smooth. I think he's pushing it a little bit harder than he normally would right now, but he can handle that ability. So it's not a big deal. It's just that you don't want to make a mistake, because this track is, like, again, it's so easy to make a mistake here and slap the wall. You know, if you watch some of these guys come off the corners, they're counter steering already. This corner right now, see, there's a good pass, get to the inside. You can't get too close to that wall. It's a little bumpy and there's not a lot of track. He's going to get over to the left side and then come to the right and make a straight shot right down McDonald's alley to a hard right in turn 11, and then come back over the bridge. Car gets a little light right about the center here, right there. Comes back down hard on the brakes and then comes back on the front straightaway. He locked up that right front end. Yeah, he's got a little bit of front brake in that. If you could tell, the front end tires started slowing down a little bit more than the rear, so he is running some front brake in that car.
Definitely is. Raphael Hubie way out in front here tonight, over 43 seconds between him and second place of Mike Kostek. And how about Mike Kostek? I mean, in the point standings, Mike is sitting 6th in the points. And he moved up 8 positions from last week. He has 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s of the season out of 6 starts. You know, Raphael Hubie sitting in the 4th spot with 5 starts. He didn't make the season opener. 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s. So Raphael Hubie has finished 5 times in the top 10s in his 5 starts.
Yeah, that's awesome. You can tell the rotors are glowing on these cars. These guys shows you how much brake these guys are using. Those brake rotors are on fire right now on these cars. They're just it's such a hard braking track. This track there's no smooth braking on this. It's full wood, hard braking, front end slapping the ground, and then just rolling off it and hitting your marks. That's what this track's all about. But I think it's a fun track. I really do. A lot of people don't like it, but I thought it was very fun and exciting. I want to do over.
Mike Kostek coming down pit road for his final stop of the night. That's going to allow Peyton Hubbard to take over the second spot there.
Yeah, he's going to get a good lead on this one now, and Peyton's going to have a good, comfortable second place lead on Michael or Alex Montanelli. Montanelli, he's back 3 spots, so he was up in that front row area. But you got James Silvers and Jason Bridges. Bridges up in the 6th position. Look at Shutters, Radburn Shutters. He's up in that 7th spot. He's up 11 positions. And Cody Anderson in 13th positions, up in the 9th, and Hawkins in the 8th. We got a nice little battle here. It's just too bad they're about 3 seconds apart. I want to see some more races. Jason's going to come out. Let's see if he comes out with Hawkins and Anderson. He might fall back a little bit, just depending on when he came in the pits. Definitely.
So Montanelli now in that 3rd spot after, that first corner incident started on a pole. So that's a good rebound for him. So you really think about it.
That's a great rebound.
He drove all the way through the field with no caution.
Right. He went all the way to the back.
Yes.
When he spun, he stayed in the middle. Everybody kind of like opened up the sea of water for him, and that was a good thing that nobody hit him. But he went all the way back to the back. That's what's unbelievable, how well he's running.
So that tells you how much, this driver, he's practicing that good. I mean, to do that. I mean, you look at Raphael Hubie up 4 spots. He's dominated the race. But it's kind of hard. I mean, just think if the 19 didn't spin out, he could have been up there dominating the race.
Yeah, let's see. As soon as we see Raphael Hubie, let's see when he crosses the line, how many cars are actually on the lead lap. I think we're cutting it down to now about 12 or 10 maybe. Because like I said, he clipped the wall. There you go. He got the wall.
Yep. Top 5 are in the lead lap. 6 on back is 1 or more laps down.
Yeah, so here comes Raphael. He's sliding that car. I think since he didn't change tires, not that he can't drive it, but his tires are wearing because that car's starting to slide more and more every lap. So we got to keep our eye on Peyton and Montanelli, see how much ground they make. They were 49 seconds and 51 seconds back. Peyton's still 54 seconds behind Raphael, but it only takes one little mistake to hurt that car, and that's what you don't want to do with 12 laps to go.
Definitely, you don't want to do that. You don't want to danger something. It's right now, Raphael gets around Chuck Blake. Chuck Blake lets him have it.
I think Chuck went to 7-Eleven to get a drink. I don't even think he tried to turn.
He said, I'll just pull off for a minute. All y'all go around.
Yep.
And do you blame him?
No, not at all. These drivers, I don't care what position these guys are in. These top 26 guys, this is so difficult. It's so much harder than it looks. So I got to give credit to all these guys, no matter what position they're in. This is for them to come out here and just race and do this for the love of sim racing. It's just so fun. This sport or hobby is so exciting.
Definitely, you talk about someone. I mean, Chuck Blake is a really respectable guy. I mean, really nice on there. I mean, anytime you see him race, he don't race dirty. And if he's going to be a lap down, he's going to let you have it. He's just one of those drivers. He's learning. He's filling stuff out, Chuck Blake is. And he could be like Drew Parole, that's not here with us tonight, that's been running really well this season. That last season was his rookie year or season.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's in that I believe 9th spot. He's moved up 9 position, or I'm sorry, the 17th spot. He's moved up 9 positions. So, he's just running his laps. He's just buying some time, and it's so hard to do when you're behind someone. You get so excited and so anxious. You're like a little 13-year-old kid, man. You get behind someone, you want to pass them, but you can't pass them, no matter being 0.4 of a second faster or a half a second faster. It's really, everybody says, well, God, he's 0.5 faster. That has no bearing on this track and the passing lanes that it has. 0.5 is nothing. You can't get around anybody 0.5 because it's just so hard to do. So you have to have respect and let people go.
Definitely you do.
When you can. Yeah, when you need to.
11 laps to go for Raphael Hubie. Let me tell you, he's looking for his first win of the season. As we said, he's had 5 out of 5 starts, 5 top 10s. So he's been dominating, showing he's a force to be reckoned with in this Cup Series. Payne Iber making his first start of the season tonight in the Cup Series. Running in second, started on the outside of the front row if you missed it. And Alex Montanelli, who's currently running in 3rd position, was your pole sitter. In an early incident, went to 26, has made his way back in the top 3. And I will say he's probably the one driver's passed the most cars.
Yeah, you got from Brazil, you got Hubie up in the lead. You got Montanelli in the 3rd spot. Mm-hmm. You have Jeff Boyd in the 10th spot. So you got the Brazilians up in the top 10. That's a great showing for them right now to be on this track right now and running this well. This is awesome. And
how about Jason Burgess having a good run here tonight? Couple mistakes, but he's recovered. Currently running in that 9th position. Up 10 spots and start of the race. Cody Anderson in 8th, up 14 spots. It is Toyota number 42. GT Hawkins, the Glory Pole, last season's champion. From Columbus, Ohio, currently running in 7th with Radbird Shutters. Having a good run here tonight, up 12 spots from start of the race in that 6th position. James Silvers right now with a top 5. But your top 3 is Raphael Hooby. Oh, James Silvers overshot it there.
Wants to get going again. He said, "Man, I had 5th place. I just got to keep rolling."
Right.
You know, that's going to set him back. That's going to set him back a little bit, isn't it? A couple positions.
Yeah, well, he stays in 5th, but right there is the 44.
He's going into pits right now.
He's going to get some damages, so that top 5 has now been relinquished to Radburn Shutters as Hooby continues to dominate here. Hubbard and Montanelli, your top 3. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on YouTube and Facebook.
God, Raphael is he's just driving the wheels off this car. He's got this car a little bit on the back. He's just driving real aggressive. He's not backing off at all. He's not on cruise. There's no way. This guy is sliding this car. He's got total control of the car. He's hitting his marks. He's just not looking behind him. He says, let me just do my job. If I back off, I can make a mistake. So let's see what goes on with another 9 laps to go. But he's not lifting at all. He's full wood. And if he says he's backing off, I'm surprised because he's running 126s again with a car with 51 laps in this race on old tires. He's in the 126.4s. That's the fastest lap of the night. He's flying out there.
And look at the driver input on your right-hand side of the screen. So let's watch him. As you see, it dips down. He's off the brake and back on the gas. He's hardly off the gas, if that makes sense. Right there, you see it dips down. He's off the gas, now back on it. And that line's pretty smooth. So, I mean, he's not flooring it and letting off.
He's driving the wheels off it. You got Hooby in the lead, Hubbard in 2nd, Montanelli 3rd, Kostek in the 4th spot. Hawkins just took over the 5th spot from Shutters. Shutters in the pits, I'm sure.
Yep.
Voigt in the 7th spot, Bridges in the 8th, Kaiser in 9th, and Cody Anderson in the 10th spot. Then you have Cofield, Silvers, and Cunningham all on the lead lap.
And how about Sean Kaiser running in that 9th spot, as you mentioned, Billy? He is up 5 positions to start the race. He's kept it nice and clean. That car don't have any damage to it. So, doing a good job inside the top 10 here tonight as we're closing in with 8 laps to go.
Yeah, I believe Sean ran the Kaiser. I believe he ran the truck on Monday in our race. I'm almost positive I saw him. Very clean driver. He is smooth. He gets the job done. He's moving up now. He's up in that +5 spot. So he started like 14th. So he's moved up 5. You got Bridges moved up 12. Anderson's 12. Voigt's 4. Here he comes. Hawkins in the 8 spots up. Then you got Chuck Blake down in that 15th spot. He's moved up 11 with Brian Terry. He's moved up 8 spots in the 16th.
He is from Owensboro, Kentucky. That number 13 machine is, he's done a lot with. Well, hi, Charlene. How are you? Oh, it's been going good. Charlene, last season I quit smoking, Billy, and I will say I've been smoke free. So, Charlene, thank you.
Good job. Good job. I like it.
Yes, I couldn't breathe.
Well, you got. Is that? I'm sorry. Who is that? Brian Terry?
That was.
No, it's Chuck Blake.
Yeah, Chuck Blake, right in front of Peyton Hubbard.
Man, Peyton got away with that one. That was nice. I hate to see Peyton crash out on accident. That's a racing thing, but I'm glad Peyton got through that. He's driving the wheels off that. He's every bit of deserving to fit a podium position just by watching him drive this week and once last week. Since I'm new to this sport and new to commentating and good the racing with the Bluegrass, but he does a great job of driving. I hate to see anybody get taken out on that, just on a racing deal with top 5, top 6 guys. Anybody really.
Well, you think about it, if he didn't have to change his shorts after him and Jonathan Swartz, he had to almost change his shorts after that one.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to know, where did Montanelli go? Montanelli's still in that 3rd spot. He's running a 129 his last lap, 129 to be exact, 129.8. Peyton's ran a 129.3. Raphael, I'm just like puzzled over his driving ability right now. He is putting it down right now. Again, I believe wasn't it Fritz that was leading Bristol for a
Yeah,
while?
he was.
You know, he had the dominant car last week, and this is where Raphael is having a dominant car. I mean, to run low 127s and 126 throughout this race, at least every time I look at the clock up on top where he's running, is simply just ballistic.
Definitely it is. And, you know, we talk about we're Chicago this week. Next week, we're at Richmond. So we go from
what a change.
2.14 miles to 0.75 miles.
Yeah, what a change! Just to go to, you know, the last two outings for the guys. These guys were these guys were at Bristol last week, and now they're at the streets of Chicago. What two different scenario facilities that they've raced on back to back, and now go to a fairly fast track.
Definitely. Then they go to Ohio the week after. Then we're at Sonoma, Charlotte, North Wilkesboro. Oh, the 19, Alex Montanelli coming down pit road.
He only has a 4-second lead on Kostek, so Kostek should take the third spot over. He's going to back up. I think he's going to stay in the 4th spot, though. I don't think he's going to lose it to Hawkins. Hawkins is about, he's about 20 seconds back, so he should be fine. Montanelli should stay in that 4th position, but Hawkins is coming. Foyt's in that 6th spot. Bridges in that 7th. So we got the Brazilians in the top 6 now, and the only reason why I say Brazilians is because we're looking at the flags. United States has got more guys in here than the Brazilians, but look at the Brazilians now with Hubi and Montanelli and Foyt. You got 3 cars in the top 6 from Brazil. Oh, and that was
Foyt.
Was that number 90?
It was number 90 of Foyt.
Yeah,
and look at the battle right there between the 34 Bridges and Shutters. That's for position.
Yeah, and Foyt's going to be right there too. So Foyt doesn't have any damage, but we'll find out when he goes in this turn, locking it up. See you later.
Oh,
and he brought, and he also brought who did he bring with him?
Shutters and Webb went.
Oh my gosh.
And Foyt.
Follow the leader. That's what happens. See, you get out of rhythm. You're just so easy to get out of rhythm here, and that's where Raphael is. Raphael's in a rhythm.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Let's take a look at that replay. There you see him.
So you got him in inside. He wants his inside. He wants his position back, but he's gonna get on. He's braking too late. And that was Shutters. Shutters started it, and Foyt right behind him just said, "I better go straight."
4 laps to go for Raphael Hubi, Peyton Hubbard, and Mike Kostek. Your top 3. Montanelli a lap down, so 4th to 26. Either 1 or more laps down or out of the race. Here at the streets of Chicago.
Bridges in that 6th spot. Shutters in that 7th. Got Foyt, in that 8th spot. He backed up a position along with Cody Anderson. Anderson's moving up 1 more position. He's moved up 13 spots in that 9th spot. He's been pretty consistent 12th and 9th throughout this race, which is, it's always nice to be consistent. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Definitely is. Thank you, Charlene. I sure do appreciate you. Yeah, and I miss y'all on Tuesday nights, that's for sure. Maybe I have to make a stop with Mikey, get in the booth with him. We'll have to see. Or, maybe I need to pay $25 in a race with Sean one night.
There you go. Cody Anderson right there. He's in that 8th spot now. Followed right behind him is Cofield.
Billy, and looking at the playoffs, you got New Hampshire, 1 mile, Talladega, 2.5, Bristol, Charlotte Roval, 2.28, Darlington, Martinsville, and then Homestead.
They should have thrown Chicago back in here. I'm kidding. You really want to mix it? You really want to mix it up?
Right. Make it the championship, the last race, the final 4.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of not happy people on that move. Bluegrass, Jason Collins and his crew and Bluegrass did right by doing what they're doing. It's a great league. It's been around for like 4 or 5 years now, if I'm not mistaken. They do such a great and phenomenal job, and it's not an easy job doing what these guys do, and for all their helpers. So it's an unbelievable series. But there you just had Hubi. he's banging on the wall. He banged on the wall in the middle of 4 and 5, and he banged on the wall coming out of 5. So he's, like I said, look at his rear brakes glowing. So it just shows you how much more rear brake he's using than front brake. Those things are glowing red, those rears.
Yes, they are.
The left front, right front is very, very a little bit less, not as bright. So he's running a little bit more rear brake, meaning that he's getting his car under braking, and he's turning the car with the rear end a little bit. He's braking in a straight line. When you run more rear brake, you can actually go deeper in the corner than you could front brake. A lot of people, you got front brake. Front brakes to make you, it'll make the car turn faster, but it also you have to give yourself some more room to stop. So he's running more rear brakes. That's what's getting him through deep into the corners.
Definitely. And Lisa, thank you. We miss you too. And thank you for tuning in tonight with the Bluegrass Cup Series. So
Montanelli's still in that 4th spot.
He is 1 lap down with GT Hawkins a lap down. Let's take a look at your top 10. It's Raphael Hubie, Peyton Hubbard, Mike Kostek, your top 3. They're on the lead lap. 4th place, 1 lap down, is Montanelli, Hawkins, Shutters, Bridges, Anderson, Cofield, and Silver's in that 10th spot, 2 laps down. But hey, he's in 10th. He has a top 10 here tonight.
Yeah, that's great. Anytime you could finish in the top 10 at any race, hats off to you guys. Not that 11th, 12th is not important, because if you start at 26th and you got 12th, that's like a win. So I think the goal for all these guys is finish in the top 10 as much as they can.
Now, I just realized something. I've been saying lap down. I don't think they're all lap down, because the scoreboard.
Yeah, you got to wait till the leader comes around, see if when he comes past the line and where those guys come across the line. So, it just shows that because he's got like a minute and 30-second lead or something. So it's taking some time for the scoreboard to keep up because they're coming around. But there's number 24. There's Kaiser. Kaiser's getting out of his way right now, and that's Peyton right now, Hubbard. So that was very nice of
That was
who I just mentioned.
Foyt. Was it Foyt? No, it was Kaiser. Kaiser,
yeah, it was Kaiser. So Kaiser's still in that 13th spot. He's not going to lose any ground, but he's about 5 seconds behind Cunningham. Cunningham's moved up 9 spots. We haven't talked much about him. He's in that 12th spot, moving up 9 positions. And so is Charles Blake. He's in the 16th spot, moved up 10 positions.
Definitely. As we're on the final lap, the white flag has already been thrown for Raphael Hubie here in that number 21 machine, looking to claim his first victory of the season here tonight. If he can just keep it clean and green for these final turns. And
Look
Billy.
at Peyton Hubbard. Peyton Hubbard turned the fastest lap of the race on the last lap with 1:26.5. That's blistering. That's fast.
That is. And there's your race leader.
Or actually, I'm sorry, Raphael did 1:26.001. So that's good too. God, that's unbelievable. Last lap, old tires. Raphael's throwing that car around like a rag doll.
And here
Here they come.
we come. Look at the flagman, Barney, waving that chicken flag to Raphael Hubie, picking up his first career win of the Bluegrass Cup Series here tonight. And Peyton Hubbard, he is way back there in second. Peyton Hubbard from Moxville, North Carolina. These are some black cars coming by now.
Raphael could have stopped at a singles bar before he finished that lap and had a drink.
Yes.
Unbelievable. He did such a great race. So you can't take away anything from any driver that raced this race. But Raphael was in his own zip code during this race. But here comes Peyton. No matter how far, locks it up, locks the right front up. No matter how far back he is, he's still finishing second. You can't take that away from anybody.
You cannot. He had a strong run early on. Peyton Hubbard did. And coming home, his first start of the season, Peyton Hubbard.
What a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. I mean, to come out here and race with the class that's out here and put it into this on the podium in that second spot, the guy's he's a will. He's just a will. He can drive he could just drive it. He drove the trucks well, fast, one of the fastest guys out there. Now he drives the cup car. So it was a great finish for Hubbard and Kozak. And then you got the 4th spot, Montanelli, Hawkins 5th, Shutter 6th, Anderson 7th, Bridges 8th, and Cofield 9th, and James Silver's in that 10th spot.
Definitely right now. Oh, Garza just kind of parked it, or not Garza, but Hubby just parked it there. He said he had enough. Alex Montanelli wanted to come across the start finish line, not be taken out.
Very interesting race. It was a track. You had the track tamed the drivers. That's the bottom line. The track tamed the drivers to not overdrive and hit your marks. What a great race, though. It really was.
Definitely. Now out of the final turn, coming down to the checker flag, it's Alex Montanelli there. And there is Radburn Shutter. So what a great job here, Doc. Let's take a look at your official results.
Well, Anderson moves up to the 7th spot. What a great run for Cody.
Definitely. Alex Hubie, we said, picked up the win with the WJM Motorsports. Hubbard is 2nd, Next Level Racing. And you got Mike Kostek in 3rd with JC Motorsports, Alex Montanelli, GT Hawkins, Radburn Shutters, Cody Anderson, Jason Bridges, Jonathan Cofield, James Silvers, your top 10 here tonight.
Well, you got 2 privateers. You got James Silvers. I'm sorry, Jonathan Cofield and Alex Montanelli, 2 privateers. And then you got Chuck Blake in the top 15. Maybe those 3 guys should join a team together.
Maybe so. I mean, let me tell you. it can be exciting, that's for sure. You look at Jeff Foyt coming home in 11th, Daniel Cunningham in 12th, 13th be Sean Kaiser, Barrett Morton at 14th, Chuck Blake at 15th, Brian Terry at 16th, Matt Grenier at 17th, Dustin Rinstidle in 18th, and let's see here, 19th will be Brandon Holder. Alex Healy not having the night he wanted in that 19th or 20th position. David Farber 21st, 22nd Jonathan Swartz, Michael Robinson, Lucas Lyons, Wes Wiggins, and Jonathan Atkins rounds out your field here tonight. We'll be right back with post-race interviews. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Cup Series. I'm Steve McMillan along with Billy in here with me. And Billy, thank you so much, sir, for being here. It's really been exciting, and I'm glad you've been here because it's really been nice. I will tell you that.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I get too excited, though. You got to put a muzzle on me sometimes.
Oh, no. I need that. I need that excitement in my life.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about. I mean, you can't. We did it with, I believe, with Peyton. I believe we went around the track with someone inside the cockpit, and there's just so much to talk about this track and about every corner, because every corner and every straightaway, especially the 2 railroad track bridges, the short chutes, I mean, the sharp 90s, the track narrows. There's so much to talk about this track that you can't even go from the start of a front straightaway to the end and tell you all of everything that straightaway is involved with the bumpiness, the braking, the straight line braking, hitting your marks, the off camber. I mean, this track is exciting. I think they're going to make a change to make it a little bit better, more passing. But again, it's exciting, very exciting.
Definitely. And with that, Billy, you get to interview Mike Kostek.
Oh, good. Hi, Mike. This is Billy and Steven. How you doing?
Good, are you?
Good, man. How'd the car feel? I mean, you moved up 8 spots. I'm sorry, no spots. You stayed the same. But how'd the car feel, and what'd you think about the track?
The track's actually fun to drive. The car felt like crap on fresh tires, but after you got about 25 laps on them, it started to drive pretty good. So, yeah, it's just trying to keep it off the wall.
Yeah, it seemed pretty tough. I mean, I drove the tracks on track on Monday in the trucks, but you had to hit your marks, and you really had to roll the throttle coming off the corners more than anything, and you were counter steering in a lot of corners. Is that how you felt?
The counter I didn't drive the truck, I drove the Xfinity. The counter steering didn't really seem so bad in this. Neither did the throttle control off, but entry it felt on edge with the bumps and how hit or miss the braking point is with the cup car. But yeah, I mean it was a different challenge for sure.
Yeah, it was interesting, and you went back and forth, and you did your pit strategy, and you came in. You didn't come in with the guys that you were next to. What was their first pit stop? Lap 15 for pits?
Yeah, I think 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Probably.
And how much fuel did you have left at the end of the race? You came in probably what, 2 times?
Oh yeah, I pit probably a lap or two after the window opened on that last run, so I had probably about a lap and a half, or a gallon and a half, 2 gallons left.
Okay.
I was just trying to short pit it at the end to minimize my time on pit road.
Right, because that actually could have played even more of a factor if you had 8 or 10 cars on that front straightaway and you were coming out, because you couldn't just dodge dart out there because you'd be right in traffic, right?
Oh yeah, you had to kind of manage the exit, make sure no one was going to come up off the exit of 1 as you're coming back on. So it was managing gaps and just trying to figure out track position.
Well, it was a great drive. I mean, it was phenomenal. It's just there's so much to it, and everybody didn't know where they were going to finish, because if you missed your mark, you'd lock up the brakes. If you gave it too much throttle, it'd get loose. And but it was a great race on your part to finish that podium. That's always nice to do. Is there anybody that you would like to thank here tonight?
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Give a shout out to Raphael and Peyton. They were both fast. I don't know what happened to Schwartz. He was fast too, but thank my teammates at JCM Motorsports, Cofield, Lucas, and Cunningham.
That's awesome. It's a great job, though. I hope you had fun. It is a fun track, though, and I think we need a little more open spots for passing at times. But I think it's a fun track to race on, and it's you could say people would say it's not a rhythm track, but it is a rhythm track because you got to hit your marks. You got to use your throttle consistently.
Oh, for sure.
But thank you very much, and a great finish, and have a good night.
All right, man. Thanks, you too.
All right, that's Mike Kostek coming home with that 3rd spot here tonight. Coming home in 2nd, making his first appearance in the Cup Series this season is Peyton Hubbard. Peyton, let me tell you, you looked quick, you looked fast, but once Raphael got around you, you were there just along for the ride.
Yeah, he was on our team for this race too, and I know he runs it full time, and I knew he was faster. So I mean, once he got to that point, I mean, there's nothing I can do. It's just better to kind of sit behind, see if I could maybe learn something. But obviously, by the gap, that didn't really happen. So it was really just fuel strategy. I'm still not used to the way that the Cup strategy works. The trucks are a lot easier to strategize fuel.
Definitely, maybe the trucks are like that, and like I said, mainly you run the trucks, you come out in the Cup Series, you make a statement here tonight as, like you said, it's your first race back in the season since the last season, and coming to Chicago, we weren't there last season, so how much practice time did you have put in for tonight's race?
Really, it was the truck race. I'd done a few sessions before then in the truck. In the Xfinity, I ran the practice before the race, but didn't race it. And then for the Cup car today, starting in the practice session was the first time I'd really gotten laps on the track at all in that car. And, and everything's so different with the way you set them up. So it was just trying to get as much, time on the car, on the track as I could before, we had to get into qualifying.
So talk to us about that turd one incident with you and Alex Montanelli. Did y'all make contact going in turn 1?
I thought that I had maybe crowded him, but I think it was just a kind of like a racing incident thing. I mean, he messaged me to apologize, but I mean, I wasn't, thinking that he did anything on purpose. I think we just kind of, everybody was still fresh. I don't think tires are completely warmed up, and it just kind of happened. I don't think it was really anybody's fault, but he came back to finish 4th, which is good. But yeah, that's kind of all it was. I think there was a little contact, but not much.
Well, what's your plans? Oh, go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we said it when we saw the rerun. I said, Peyton didn't give a lot of room, but he gave enough room where he didn't squeeze him into the inside wall. He just kept him down because you can't get out of the groove. If you get out of the groove and get into the marbles, it's worse. It's worse for the guy on the outside, which you were. So I thought it was a total racing deal. I don't think anything become of him, you cutting him off, him hitting you. It was just a racing deal, and you did what you had to do. And like I said, you didn't pinch him off, but you had a great run, and you had a great run in the trucks. And like I told Steven, I told him during the races, I thank you. I didn't get to practice truck much until you posted up on a practice session, so that was only an hour I got on the track, and I thank you for putting that up, and I got to practice. But I loved it. The track, I was getting going, but again, few mistakes in the truck. So I saw you race in that, and I told him at the beginning, Peyton, I go, this guy's never driven this car, and he's drove the truck as fast as anybody. So I had liked to see him in this, and to finish podium in the second spot was just, I don't care if you're 2 minutes back. It was simply unbelievable drive. You're a will. You did a great job, and you had to hit your marks, and the rear of the car liked to be happy at times, but you did a great job of finishing second. Great drive.
Yeah, thank you, man. That was the plan. I was really shooting for top 3, and once Hubie got out there, and I was kind of seeing how I could pace it. I was really happy to come home with a second.
Yeah, great job.
Well, Peyton, go ahead and thank those fine sponsors making it all possible for you.
Yeah, man. Thank again all the guys at NLR and CFM too. A lot of the guys, I know that Keith and them, that they don't run the league anymore, but there's still a lot of help when it comes to setup. So them, and I'd like to thank my girlfriend for actually sticking through and watching this one again too. I know this one ended a little later, so thanks everybody.
All right, that's Peyton Hubbard coming home in second place tonight. And Billy going to run down there to Victory Lane to get a word in with Raphael.
Oh, that's awesome. Raphael, this is Billy and Steven in the booth. You got us?
Yep.
Raphael, what a run. We talked to you last week, and now we're talking to you again, but we're not talking to you on a podium. We're talking to you as the winner of this race. Your lap times were phenomenal, 126, 127s, throughout the race. I mean, Alex Montanelli from Brazil and Jeff Foyt did a great job in the top 11 spots, but you ran great. You weren't letting up. You had a very big lead of a minute, or I'd say minute and 20 seconds, but you didn't lighten up. You didn't give no way. You drove that car as fast as you could drive that car from the beginning. And if you were driving smooth, if you were trying to drive a little slower to conserve, not to wreck the car, your lap times didn't show that. But did you lighten up a little bit or just drive it?
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Yeah, I actually was holding a little bit until the last laps, because if I went as fast as I could, I wouldn't be able to make one less pit than everybody. So I couldn't go all out all the time, or I would have to pit. And yeah, and on the final laps, I was good on fuel. I was with an extra lap, so I tried to make the best lap because I knew I could turn 25.
Wow.
And that was my goal, because this 26 flat was my best lap ever.
Wow,
And
what a lap though. That was a great lap. And your last lap was a 126, 177.
yeah, I was trying.
Well, you ran extremely well. You were that car was just you were just driving it. You got out in the lead. When you got the lead, did you think you were going to pull away from Schwartz or Hubbard that much in 5 or 6 or 7 laps, just pulling away by 2 seconds sometimes?
Yeah, on the start of the race, before the first pit, I thought I was like open a lot of gap between us, but it didn't happen. They were fast too. So I had this extra lap on fuel because I saved on the formation lap. I literally turned off my car the whole lap, so I had one extra lap, and that's why I was the last one to pit. And I thought that I could use that lap to get some time, like to run the best lap I could, and just get a better gap so I could pit with like safely. But on the end of the lap, I got a lapped car, and that caused me a little bit of time. That cost me. And when I stopped too far right, so I have to maneuver on the pit. So I got back on track to like 3 seconds behind them, and I was like, that's it for me.
Well, I saw that when you came in lap 17 for fuel, which is lap 18 when you crossed the line coming into pits. We were telling the race fans and Steve, and we were talking. I'm going. He's the only one that did this, so he conserved fuel because it comes down to you were probably running 0.55 gallons per lap. Am I close to being right? Because you ran 18, but then you got conservative, and that's where you got your coming in on lap 17 to get that extra lap because everybody else came in lap 15 or 16, I would say. So you were conservative on that first fuel tank.
Yeah, I mean, it was a formation lap that did the job for me because I would say I was conservative, but I was actually running the same as the guys in front. So I wasn't running the best I could because
Right.
I couldn't like just plow into them.
Great
But
driving though.
that worked out.
Well, Raphael, go ahead and thank those fine sponsors you have on that vehicle, making it all possible for you tonight.
All right. So this time I got a list. So I won't list any sponsor. So, yeah, I want to thank especially Extreme Sim Racing for sponsoring my car, and also the team sponsors that are Speakeasy, Ackerman Seal Coating, Babs Body Shop, MDI TV, Oxy Green Solutions, Gotcha 6, Cloud Haggerty, Super Sponsorman, Garza Law Firm, and shout out to Double JM. Yeah, we did it, boys.
Definitely. This time we didn't let no one out. You might want to keep that list a little bit longer because I got a feeling you're going to be saying it a lot more, many more times this season. You know, by the end of the season, you're going to know it all by heart.
I hope so.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Raphael coming home with the win tonight with the Bluegrass Cup Series.
Congratulations, Raphael.
Thank you.
Well, Billy, that's going to conclude our race tonight here with the Bluegrass Cup Series at the streets of Chicago. It's been wonderful having you here with us. Hopefully you can come back and play with us next week.
Yeah, we just like to thank all the race fans and all the people that are viewing in. I'd like to thank Bluegrass. I'd like to thank our sponsors. Without any of these people, none of this would be possible for these guys to have fun like this. It's, people have to kind of step away from their normal stuff to do this, and it makes everybody else with a big smile on their face. So you can't thank Jason Collins and his crew that helps him. You can't thank you enough for broadcasting this. Can't thank the race fans enough for at least taking their time for an hour and a half to watch this on Facebook and on live. So thank all you guys and gals for all your hard work, and really appreciate you guys coming out and doing this.
Definitely, and this has been an Ultimate Dirt TV production. Until next time, next Wednesday night. And where did I say we're going to be at next Wednesday night? We're going to be at Richmond. From if you really think about it, from dirt to street course to small track, Richmond, in 3 races, 3 weeks.
Wow. 3 different tracks, total different tracks.
Definitely. So these drivers got their hands cut out for them. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to sign off, say good night, and God bless. And y'all be safe out there.